This video is about a strange miracle that took place in Turkey during the earthquakes that hit Syria and Turkey. The province of Hatay in Turkey has been completely destroyed. But one city subject of this video stands out from the cities located in Hatay. It's the city of Rayhalli or Rayhaniya in Arabic. Today, we are talking about how and why this small city was the biggest miracle of the earthquakes that ravaged big parts of Turkey this year. But before we start, consider checking out our Patreon and checking out our merch store. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The province of Hatay has a population of 1.5 million Turks. There are about 500,000 Syrians in this province alone. Of course, this province has been devastated by the earthquakes. Almost all the buildings in it have been destroyed or affected in one way or another. Hatay is situated in a seismically active region. As such, earthquakes are common occurrence there, and their effects can vary depending on the magnitude, depth, and location of the earthquake. This is not the first time an earthquake hits Hatay. The region has a long history of dealing with earthquakes. For example, in January 2021, Hatay was hit by a 6.7 magnitude earthquake, which caused significant damage to buildings and infrastructure in the area. The earthquake was felt across the region, and its effects were particularly severe in the city of Samsat, where several buildings collapsed and many people were injured. The earthquake also caused landslides in some areas, which blocked roads and caused further damage. Overall, the effects of earthquakes in general on Hatay can be severe, particularly if they are of high magnitude and occur in densely populated areas. Hatay is one of the most impacted cities in Turkey from the devastating earthquakes that happened in February, killing more than 41,000 people countrywide, injuring hundreds of thousands. The number of people who are displaced or have migrated to other cities is estimated to reach millions of people. The health minister of Turkey said that more than 1,600 people were killed in Hatay alone, the highest toll of any Turkish province. But there was an exception to all of this, a city called Rayhalli, or in Arabic Al-Rayhaniya. According to statistics, the city of Rayhaniya has almost not been affected by the devastating earthquakes, especially compared to other cities in the same province of Hatay. The city of Rayhaniya has been unique throughout this earthquake, and it's in general a unique place in Turkey, and it sends a clear and open message to all of us Muslims in all Islamic nations around the globe. So what is the message that the city of Rayhaniya has sent to us during these hard times? What we should understand about the city is that it was damaged in a very slight way, and that is very surprising, since it is located in the area of the earthquake. Rayhaniya, like the rest of Turkey, is a predominantly Muslim town with a majority of its population being Sunni Muslims. Islam has had a strong influence on the culture and traditions and the way of life in Rayhaniya more than any other city. 70,000 people live in the city, and there are several mosques in Rayhaniya, including the Central Mosque, which is the largest and most important mosque in the town. The mosque is the center of religious and social life in Rayhaniya, and it serves as a place of worship as well as a meeting place for the local community. Islamic traditions and practices are observed in Rayhaniya, including daily prayers, fasting during the months of Ramadan, and the celebration of Islamic holidays. Religious education is also an important part of life in Rayhaniya, with many children attending Quranic schools to learn the fundamentals of Islam and the Arabic language. It's very important to note that the city is home to big numbers of memorizers of the Holy Quran, people who fully memorize the Quran, and people who do da'wah, and preachers, and those who teach people about the Quran and Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and teach the religion of Islam and spread the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers, before we continue, consider supporting the channel by checking out our upcoming series of documentaries on Patreon. These videos will be exclusive to our Patreon audience It won't be posted on YouTube. We also have a merch store. Pick an item with the design of your liking as a way to support the channel. Thank you so much. And this does not mean that there aren't any righteous people in other cities of Turkey, of course, who suffered destruction from the earthquakes. But even the most righteous people can suffer if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills it. Zainab radiallahu anha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam told her about Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj, she asked him and said, Ya Rasulullah, anahlaku wa fina as-salihun? O Prophet of Allah, do we perish even when the righteous ones are amongst us? Prophet Muhammad said, yes, na'am. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the other hand, can protect what we call in Arabic as-salihin, as-salihun, the righteous ones. Just like in our case, the city of Rayhaniya. The people in Rayhaniya follow their religion very well, to the point that if a person sees somebody memorizing the Quran or reciting the Quran in a good way in some places in Turkey or in the province of Hatay, they ask if he is from Rayhaniya. All the towns around Rayhaniya got affected way more than Rayhaniya, which is still standing. This is definitely a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who said that those who remember Him by reciting the Quran and reciting the dua and preaching the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have a high level in paradise and will be tremendously rewarded in Al-Akhirah and in the Dunya. But this is an example where preaching the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and reciting the Quran and memorizing it and following the path of Allah Almighty will pay off not only in the afterlife but also here in the dunya. It's very important to note that the city is home to big numbers of memorizers of the Holy Quran, people who fully memorize the Quran. But the case of the city of Rayhaniya is very particular and it's very noticeable, of course. And we should always remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us in this life, and sometimes His tests are easy and sometimes His tests are hard to pass. Before I finish this video, I want to take a moment to pray for the people of Turkey, for those who passed away in the earthquakes, and for those who have lost people in the earthquakes, and for their families and loved ones. Before I finish this video, consider supporting us on Patreon and supporting the production of our series exclusive to Patreon. Grab an item from Deep Into Islam's merch store and support the channel that way. Like and subscribe, of course, and activate the bell icon to watch the video before everybody else. Assalamu alaikum.